Folks, Northland Tech Joe here. This morning we're working on a 1025R, and the customer stated he was online because he heard some noise. Went on YouTube, and the guy said he had bad bearings. That's what that sound was coming from. Yes, it very well could be bad bearings, but I'll show you what we got going on down here. And technically it's not bad bearings, but since the pieces had come loose, the bearings are now bad. Okay, what we got going on here. So here's your carrier. That goes on the front there, and then that long shaft goes through. So these nuts had come loose, causing that, which started rattling. And as you can see, that rattling ended up taking the bearings out. Now we're gonna get this other nut off, and then I'll show you guys this piece here, or your reel sensor. And the customer had another concern that was happening with it. Here's your bracket for your reel sensor here. Kind of get you. Can't really see it on the camera. Maybe you can. You can see it kind of grooved right there. So what happened is that shaft, the bearings came loose, and it ended up rubbing into the sensor, which was causing a malfunction light to come on in the cab, either when he was backing up or driving. So we are going to replace this sensor here, just because this here power wire is part of your ignition circuit, and if anything happens to this little guy, you'll get a no start on the tractor. And best thing to figure out if you're out snow blowing or going to go snow blowing, your tractor don't start but everything lights up on the dash. First check your battery, and then go into, if that doesn't do it, there's this little connector right here. This is for your reel. Unplug this guy, and then go on the other side, pull your side panel off on the, it would be the right hand side or passenger side, whatever you want to call it. And there's your fuse box back there, and replace that ignition fuse. Replace that ignition fuse, you can then try starting your tractor, and it usually will fire right up and not blow that fuse. So this is a 3-wire sensor here. It does have its own ground. So when this either breaks or gets worn into from bad bearings or bad housings or nuts coming loose, it shorts this little guy out, blowing that fuse. So we'll show you guys that. I'm going to show you guys how to set these bearings. See if I can get my camera to focus on here. Set the bearings on the front carrier on this machine. This would be the same for your 2025s. And then it'd be a different carrier, but basically the same bearings for your 3R series tractors. And so it'd be 1, 2s, and 3Rs. So your mid-frame 2s and large frame 2s. Basically the same thing, just different carriers. So we'll show you guys how to do that. So most of these are 16 millimeter. You can see that a little better there. Each one's got 3 you're going to have two longer bolts because of the real sensor on them. Normally we just replace the bearings. Since they go bad. Which, with the amount of snow we get up here, it's usually anywhere from 200 to 300 hours these bearings go out. You see it just grenade all of its grease out. But since these things have been vibrating around in there, we're going to be putting all new bearings in. New carriers. So here's our new shields, bearing carriers, blocks. Here's the bearings. And we got a couple extra bolts and nuts here to get us going. So, get you guys off there. Let's see if we can get you guys off there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. You can see the wear, how it was vibrating on there. Same on this side. So the housing or the carrier isn't damaged at all. It's just got a little paint wear from it vibrating. This was caught fast enough. We don't have to worry about replacing the carrier. So we're just going to replace all that and a new sensor, and we'll get going here. Okay, so you're going to take your bearing halves, bearing, clamp it like that, and then it's going to go inside of here. What I like to do is just put a little dab of blue Loctite each one of those bolts. Now we're not going to full send these down, we're just going to snug these up for right now. Just like that, so it's kind of loose. You're into the lock. Show you why we're only doing that in a second. Okay. So now we're going to replace our little sensor, and we'll get, and then the backside is basically the same except for we're putting this bracket on. Sensor's installed. I don't know if it's going to focus. Doesn't look bad. This one isn't indented at all, and this one's got a little bit of grinding going on there. So you're going to have your line. long bolts. Go in like that. And take your sandwich bearing. So you're going to take your bracket here with your sensor on it. Carefully push that down. That. The reason I put blue Loctite on there is just to kind of help the old lock nuts out. You get the vibration from the engine, vibration from snow blower in the shaft, and so it just helps all the little buddies out. Red Loctite's a little excessive. Don't really need red Loctite. Doesn't taste very well either. We got those in there. We're going to do the same thing like we did in the front. We're just going to snug these nuts down. You're going to take your shaft. I have an old shaft here that I believe the U-joint failed, or something happened to the longer part of the shaft. But I like this one because I can manipulate it a little bit. You're going to go ahead and shove that shaft right into the bearings. Get them lined up. Now I like doing the front one first. I really like these platinum double box ends. You got a piece on there. And you're just going to center that bearing in there for the front one. And you're going to run it down snug. Go to this one over here. Snug. More snug than what you had it before. Now when you get the third one done, always make sure you got good movement. Sometimes you give them a good wrap so they know that they're in place. Stick a little bit. You may have to loosen them up just a little bit. Give it a little tap. And that's all you kind of want us to do. You just want to be able to slide it back and forth. So now you know that one's centered. The bearing is centered with this. Go ahead, tighten these down. Now this back one's a little bit more trickier. So you want to make sure that your shaft is sliding nice and easy in there. And you're going to tighten the small nut, small bolt, short bolt down first. Make sure everything's centered, everything's moving. Tighten that one down. Now so that's pretty good there. Should bubble off now with your, since you got the sensor on here. We'll get you guys in. You're gonna take your hex, you want that thing as close as humanly possible, which is basically a business card. Or they do have a little specialty tool that slides in between there, a little metal plate. But you can take a business card. I just get it rammed as tight as I can get it, and I'll hold it there, and I'll tighten the nuts down, and then it'll have the perfect gap every time. So that's all that's done. And you want to make sure that when you do tighten it up, turn this and it's not hitting that sensor. So we'll get these guys tightened up and we'll go. So we're at our perfect gap. Let's go down a little bit more. Our shaft should just easily pull in and out like that. So check all of our other nuts here. Good. Way too much gappage there, boys. Girls. put in there. We'll get you guys down in here so you can see. It's about exactly a business card. Maybe just a little bit thicker than that. All it needs to do is be able to pick up those points and that hex as they're coming by. And you want your shaft to be able to smoothly slide in and out. Just to, that's perfect. It's way easier doing it with the stub shaft than fighting the big long shaft on that. So, we got this taken care of. You're just going to slide your shaft, your long shaft, that one right there, into here, hook her up, hook this up, and then go hook up to your mid PTO on your tractor, and you're good to go.